I'm Sophia A. Jackson, and I'm the editor and founder of Aphrodisiac Theatre News. And today I'm joined by.
Monique Touko, director of Marie and Rosetta.
I'm really pleased that we can finally speak. I think I've been trying to speak to you for some time. So I'm
I'm so
glad
sorry.
that's all right. I'm just really pleased I can finally pin you down, and you're also my first interview of the year. So that's super exciting.
Oh, oh, fantastic.
So, in your own words, tell us about Marie and Rosetta and what we can expect from the show. I mean, I know it's not the first rendition of it,
Mhm.
um, but anyone who is unfamiliar, could you tell
Yeah.
us about it?
Yeah, so it's a two-hander centered around Marie Knight and Rosetta Tharpe, two famous gospel singers who've come up and they meet. Rosetta, who's slightly older, spots Marie Knight and decides that them as a duo could potentially work. So they come together for one night to sort out their set list and to figure out ultimately whether they can work together. But there are two women who have been completely forgotten out of history, women who have very much influenced artists such as Elvis and Jimi Hendrix. And it's really important with this story that we are amplifying Black women's voices. So it's a really
Mm,
important story. We originated it at the Rose. It then went to Wolverhampton, where Beverley Knight is from, because Beverley Knight is playing Sister
yeah.
Rosetta Tharpe. And then it went to Chichester, and now we're in the West End, which is super exciting.
And why do you think it's timely that this story has come to light now?
I think there's an unapologeticness that I think needs to happen in terms of just expression, just generally. And I think these were women that were fully in their power, and it couldn't be. And what I'm really happy about actually is that obviously she's from America. It's done well in America, this
Mm,
play. But Sister Rosetta had a really close relationship with the UK, and there's really famous footage of her on a railway track in Manchester. And just London audiences, Manchester audiences, regional audiences really supported her on her journey. So it feels really timely and necessary for it to be in
mm,
London. And also to have two actors who are not from London as well in
yeah.
the two leading roles.
And do you want to say a bit more about the leading ladies? You said you mentioned Beverly Knight,
Yeah,
but do you want to say a bit more about them both?
yeah. So we have Bev, who you get a script and you think who could play Sister Rosetta, and then you offer it to Beverly Knight and she says yes. Yeah, it was a real kind of pinch me moment career wise because she's a national treasure and she's just a woman
Mm,
at the top of her game, and it's not just the pipes, it's like her integrity and her stage presence is pretty electric. So it was really nice to go on a journey with her where she's used to doing musicals a lot of the time, so this is a play
yeah.
with music, so it was a different flex for her. And then going on a journey with Zoe, this is her West End debut. And similarly, what's happening in the relationship between Maria Renai and Rosetta Tharpe is also happening in the rehearsal, because there's a lot of mentorship going on and there's a lot of love and exchange, and
Mm.
women at completely different points in their careers but able to hold each other up, which is really beautiful to see.
And what was it that drew you to Marie and Rosetta, and why did you think the story is important to tell?
I couldn't put it down. I read it the whole way through. I couldn't put it down. The
Mm.
themes were screaming at me in terms of uh, Black women and how they are constantly navigating spaces and constantly having to mask and protect themselves, but always kind of are able to rise and able
Mm.
to penetrate. And it's really the strength in both of them is something that really resonated with me and something that I couldn't ignore. I think there was also responsibility to depict people that are known. I was up for the
Yeah,
challenge of that.
yeah.
And one of the things I did say to Bev and Zoe is that this isn't a tribute show. It's not an impersonation. This
Mm.
has to be your take on this character. So I think hopefully that freed them as actors to go on a journey. And yeah, there were so many reasons. I want to do a musical. It felt like a step towards a musical. There were so many reasons why this felt like, oh, yeah, I want to do it and I should do it.
You mentioned that when you were reading the script for the first time, the scenes were screaming out at you. So generally, when you're reading, do you read in director mode? Is that how you function?
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard not to. Yeah, it's kind of hard not to. I think I'm seeing the characters. I'm seeing, I suppose, what could come up in terms of the bodies on stage. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever reading it passively. especially if I feel like I'm going to do it, there's always a sense of, okay, so what themes am I picking out, or what's coming to me, or what would make sense on stage?
That's so interesting. So has that happened? Has that evolved over time? So you are you not able to just read a script and be like, oh, that's a lovely script and put it down? Or do you find it really difficult to remove the director in you from that process?
I find it hard to remove myself. I tend to watch a lot of plays, but I don't tend to read plays that I'm not working on because I think it gets
Yeah.
really congested up there. So you just want to kind of just stick with what you're doing and understand the text and understand the rhythms and just sit with it. So yeah, I find it quite hard to not to just enjoy it. Same with watching stuff. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, look at that angle, or that could have been, oh, that cup wasn't there in that time, and then now it's back again. And like it's hard to not be in that mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that I don't know. I mean, maybe that's interesting, but maybe it's difficult for you to just actually enjoy a show then if you're
Hmm.
maybe.
No, it is difficult, but then also there's an appreciation of like, oh, like I know how hard these people have been working on it,
Mm,
and you're just like, oh, well done for getting to this point, or
yeah.
yeah, I think there's more appreciation of just like, wow, like other people in other theaters are doing exactly the same thing, and they're still standing. It's hard. The work's hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hard. I think the hours are really long,
Mm,
and you don't really, when you do kind of get into show mode, there's a bubble you go into, which is kind of yeah, my friends know it, my family know it. When you're locked in, you're locked in. When I'm in rehearsals, I'm locked in, and it's very, it doesn't allow for a lot of life to happen around it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm trying to achieve balance at the moment because I think that's really important.
yeah. And do you actually get to the point where once the show is up that you stop directing?
Well, you go and note the show. You go and note the show. You check on it maybe once a week. Maybe the
Okay.
associate or the assistant will go a bit more. But no, I'm in there. I think there's certain processes where it's been such an intense process that you just kind of want to leave them to keep finding it.
Mm,
But you do want to kind of be an anchor and be like, okay, if you need me, call me, or like, do you want to try this in this scene, or you were doing that and we didn't do that in the room. So what's that about? Like, yeah, you're just kind of
mm.
just yeah, just show maintenance is something that I'm learning as I go, I think.
And you've been involved in the show for a while. So what are the highlights of the journey so far?
Oh wow, highlights. I think my first Wandle probe, which was the first time the musicians and Bev and Zoe sang together.
What did you call
That
it?
was
My
the
first
moment.
what?
It's called a Wandle probe.
What the
There's a
hell's
sitz probe and there's a Wandle probe.
that? Okay.
I can't even. One of them is when you're in the like you're just doing it kind of not in situ, not on stage, and then one is when they come together on stage. So these kind of musical terms that I didn't know about and had
Okay.
never heard are like now part of my yeah. Now I'm saying them, and it's quite lovely to say. So yeah, that was a really wonderful experience.
And
Um,
what is the Wandle probe again? Say it again.
so you have the Wonder probe and you have the Sitz probe. One is when you're kind of the musicians and the actors come together, maybe in a studio or in the rehearsal room, and you hear them do the music and the everything comes together in terms of sonically. And then you
Okay.
have another version, which is when they are actually on stage. So you're hearing songs, musicians, and everything's coming together, but on stage. So they're the two parts of the process that have never been part of my process because I've never done a song with
Mm,
music before. So that was
yeah.
new for me.
Yeah. And how did you feel when those happened then? Did you feel like, okay, right, I'm really starting to get it now?
More than that, it was more just like pinch me and like I've dreamt for this and like this is
Oh,
incredible and like they're really moving me and Liam Godwin's like go again or can you give me an A here or a C here and I'm like yeah go like there's just so much going I think I was kind of outside of myself. They're the moments where I actually kind of stepped outside of myself and I was like
yeah.
wow, I'm really blessed and this is really
Yeah.
incredible and it's a real honor.
So more musicals, do you think, for you?
Oh yeah, I hope so. I really, really hope. They take like 10,000 years to develop.
Oh,
So this is the problem with them. That's why you don't see a musical up often because yeah, it takes a
right.
lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of money. So,
Actually, yeah,
but
I
yeah,
think I watched the Black Power Desk last year and I
incredible.
absolutely
I
incredible.
love
But
it.
I
Yeah,
definitely remember speaking to the director, Gail Babb, and she said, yeah, it'd been 10 years in the making. I was like, whoa.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally. It's a long, long, long road. And that's why again the appreciate as another maker, you
Mm.
walk in and you're like, wow, you can see the work. It's evident. It's evident.
And how do you work with the actors to develop the chemistry and the tension between them both?
It's a process. I think there's a lot of trust that needs to be gained. I do a lot
Mm.
of text work, then I do a lot of character work, and then I work with a movement director called Bethan Clark, who comes in and kind of talks about um, boundaries and parameters and what people are comfortable with, and that kind of extra level of care hopefully means that when you go into the performance space and
Mm.
into the theatre, you feel a bit more secure. So there's many steps on the process to ensure that the actor feels comfortable. Bev and Zoe went on those steps as well. And obviously now we've got understudies now that we're in the West End, so they'll also go through a
Oh,
similar
okay.
journey.
Right.
But yeah, the connection's really important, and it can't be, again, that we can't hide anywhere. There's only two of them. So it better
Mm.
look good because that's all you've got. So yeah, there was a real responsibility to ensure that there's a nuance in the relationship and that it's dynamic and that you want to understand more and be with them more.
So how do you get to the stage where both everyone's happy with the dynamic before you announce? Like, do you have to decide that before you announce the cast, whether or not they're actually even going to work?
Well, we went through a process where Bev was cast, she was offered, she
Mm.
was cast, and then Bev was at the final rounds of auditions.
Right.
So then we matched Bev and Zoe, which was really beautiful.
Right.
So that
Okay.
was kind of the first step in terms of chemistry read, matching people, and just seeing whether it was going to work and getting an opinion of like, Bev, what do you think? How did you feel when you read it opposite her and you did
Mm.
the scene? Like, did you connect? And she's like, yeah, like she was incredible. And I was like, okay, well, I saw it, you feel it, then she's definitely the right person.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just really fascinated by the process, the behind the scenes of it all.
Mm. Oh, there's
Um,
so much behind the scenes. Yeah.
and I'm sure there's so much you can't share here as well. Um, how did you integrate music with the storytelling? So that you said, like you said earlier, that it's not a tribute performance. So how do you
Mm.
balance that?
I think the balance was giving the same amount of attention that you would to the dialogue, to the songs as well, like not treating them
Mm.
as separate. We treated them separately from as a design point of view, like it's very much naturalistic, then it kind of bursts into song. But the attention and care was given to both sides. Liam very much obviously wanted to, who's the music supervisor, wanted to ensure that obviously technically things are right, but like what story are we telling in this song, and how does that then link to the dialogue that's happening next? And are we showing the same emotion that we did at the top of the scene at the end of the scene? Like, how can we ensure that there's, as I said, variety? But Liam's great, and it was a real sense of the song has to serve the text, and the text has to serve the song,
Mhm.
and nothing's there just for decoration as well. Um, so there was elements of just piecing it together, understanding it, but also trusting it. Like it's been done in America before. There's been many productions of it, but this is its UK premiere.
Yeah, thank you. And what challenges have you come across with as a director working with actors who are also musicians and balancing? Is there any challenges there, do you think?
Not really challenges. I would just say like just vocal health is really important. They are
Mm.
belting like 8 times a week, and then like you have back-to-back rehearsals, and then you're telling them to go up and down podiums. I think the level of stuff. Yeah, I do look at that and I'm like, wow, like it's hard. It's physically hard. It's emotionally hard. But vocal health and physical health, I think, is the thing that more than ever, I think if you are singing on stage, you really have to stay on top of that. And I think more than ever now, I obviously I know I'm working with actors, but I do now treat directing and acting and working in the theatre space more like a sport. Like we are more athletes. Have you drank water today? Have you slept?
Mm.
Because we're gonna go from 10 a.m. and are you ready? And it's that where it's like
Yeah.
I have to I'm a coach, but I'm also a director. There's like many
Mm.
things that allow me to, I suppose, to lead in a way that feels practical and engaged, but also that we're looking after ourselves because we have to sustain it till the end of the run. We can't burn out.
Yeah, so what about the transition of going to the West End as well? Because it's obviously a completely different vibe, a completely different audience. The scrutiny is far greater being on the West End.
Mm,
So how do you manage
mm.
that process? Going
Well,
to
you
Soho
pray,
pace as well.
you pray,
Mm.
and you hope that the foundation and all of the work and all of the touring that you've done before has then informed this production. You prep and you work hard, and we've had rehearsals because all of the venues that we've done before have either been proscenium arch or they've been thrust. None of them have been in the
I
round,
don't
so we
know
had
what
to.
you just said. What does that mean?
Okay,
So much theatre
so
speak. I love it.
there, there's a. in terms of the way the audience is configured, you
Mm.
have proscenium arch where you have the audience here and you have the actors here. So your standard West End theatres,
All
you're
right.
kind of looking at a box or like
Yeah.
a viewpoint.
Right.
Um, and the show that we did at the Rose was more thrust. So you have proscenium arch and then you have thrust, which is three sides are exposed, but you still kind of have
Mm.
your back wall.
Okay.
Um, so they're the versions that we did before, but in Soho Place, it's in the rounds. We had
Yes.
to go into rehearsals last year and reconfigure everything. And I
Right.
actually do feel like this might be the best venue for this intimate two-hander relationship. I do feel like the in the round's going to work so well for it. But yeah, it's a complete rethink, and a completely different space.
So what changes have you had to make generally then for it to fit into that
Well,
space?
they're standing in completely different places. Like for me,
Mm.
blocking is really important. I'm trying to ensure that, yeah, turning points, they're standing in the middle of the space. How can I ensure that their movement means that you're not only listening to what they're saying, but you're feeling what they're saying because of the way the bodies are moving on stage? So I had to reblock the whole thing,
Hmm.
which isn't difficult because they know their intentions and they know their characters. But where they are on stage is, yeah, you're working from the very top and you're saying, please, can you stand here? Can we move here? Can you hold that diagonal? Can you move to this point of the stage? Can you get the coat at this point? Can you move on this line? So all of that stuff we did last year, which was really nice and helpful.
And
Things
that
like that.
must be good for you as well, as I guess it keeps the production nice and fresh, doesn't it?
It does. It adds pressure though. It adds
Oh,
pressure, and it's like another thing to do. But it feels like so fruitful, as you said, because it does keep you on your toes. And I think we are adjusting it for the venue, and every piece ideally should be adjusted to the venue that it's going into. So it feels
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Thank you. What has directing this production taught you?
Mm. That simplicity works
Okay.
because if you look at the stage directions at the top of Marie and Rosetta, there's a lot of stuff we just don't have on stage. We've really stripped
Mm.
it back. Clearly, Arnold, that was the kind of version that we wanted. We wanted them to sing and for it to not be too decorative. It's held and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful set, but it is
Yeah.
simple. And
Okay.
that's what I learned. Um, and also just the power of the voice, the power
Hmm.
of the voice, the power of really good pipes. And just when someone can sing well, gosh, it's so moving. It's so moving.
Yeah, and to be honest, that people will definitely be wanting to hear them sing
Yeah,
primarily.
for sure.
Before we go into quick fire, what tips would you give to a newbie to the industry who wants to be a director on the West End?
Well, it's my first time, so let me not.
Mm.
Yeah, it's my first
But just
time.
generally
So
as a director,
okay, yeah.
how do you
Um,
succeed in this field?
how do you succeed? Practice
Mm.
in any way that you can. Practice. I'm really for young directors working in drama schools where they have a budget, where they have a set designer, they have a costume designer, and they can practice. Because I practiced.
Mm.
I went to Rose Bruford, I went to Lipper, I went to Guildhall, I went to different institutions where I was like, okay, so where can I practice things? Where can I start learning how to implement screens in theatre? How can I learn how to do
Okay.
a classic? So I would advise people to use the next generation are so inspiring and they will listen and they want to learn. And if there's any way you can go and like make work with them, I think you'll grow.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people want to have their main house show or they want to like kind of like launch themselves, but go and practice. I practice. So I think that's why hopefully things are working out because I assisted a lot and I practiced a lot.
And how long did you practice for? How long were you in that stage for, would you say?
I would say from after university, from about 21 to I would say lockdown. Yeah, it was maybe 4 or 5 years of assisting
Mm.
alongside of doing drama school shows, yeah, and just trying to understand what is my taste, what do I like, and how do I work with different departments and what is my process.
Well,
You need to go and figure out what your process is.
it's obviously paid off, but you said that you made a decision to practice, 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 but was there someone guiding you along the way? Did you have a mentor or anything?
Oh yeah, oh, so many people have helped me. So many
Mm.
people. I like Ian Rickson's helped me, Matthew Z has helped me, Lynette Linton's helped me, Daniel Bailey's helped me. Um, So the list goes, honestly, it could go on and on and on. I've had a lot of people that have like taken me under their wing or just looked at me and been like, if I have an opportunity, I'm coming back to you. And they have, and they've given me
Mm,
real, not only just like opportunity, but also their time as well,
mm.
of just like, oh, let's go and have a coffee or let's go and have dinner. So I have a lot of people that have supported me to get me to where I am. And I'm really grateful.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. And I guess it is an industry that you need contacts and connections, but also you need to know how to maintain those contacts and connections as well. And I guess
Yeah.
help the generation coming up as well.
Mm.
Okay, so the quick fire. Person that you would like to see at press night, dead, alive, or fictional?
Oh my God, this is the person that comes to mind straight away. But like Snoop Dogg on the red carpet at the Golden Globes was really
Oh,
wonderful. And I was like, if I
not
could have
even
a
just
moment
the
just
red
like,
carpet. When he was reading out the
oh,
winner as well, he was like, I'm high. Like, what?
I just, he's just, I think he's fabulous. I think he's amazing. And I think he's just such a talent. And like away from the rapping and stuff, culturally, like his relevance.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just Snoop Dogg comes to mind because like he's definitely on my algorithm. So yeah, that's the person that
yeah.
comes to
Uh-huh.
mind.
Thank you. Um, First time you went to the theatre and who took you?
It was definitely my mum.
Mhm.
It's hard because I can't remember the specific time because I also used to go to theatre sometimes with Stagecoach and some of the groups that I used to do when I was younger. But definitely in terms of watching shows consistently with impact, I'll say I was about 14, 15 when my mom started taking me to the Royal Court. And then you're watching your
Nice.
Debbie Topper Greens and you're watching
Yeah,
your Roy Williams plays. And I would literally just go on the Royal Court website and look for black people in the cast. And I'd be like,
yeah.
Mom, and then I'll send it to her and she'll book the tickets and we'll go.
Oh, I
We'd have
love
an
that.
incredible time.
Oh, that's really nice. What was the last play that you saw?
Was the last play that I saw? I saw Othello. I saw Othello on the West End. I went with my agent Rupert. He took me for Christmas, which was really lovely and a treat. And it was nice to see a Shakespeare of scale, and then again learning about simplicity, how simplicity can work. So yeah, that's the last thing that I saw.
Was that the David Harewood one?
It was, and I love David Harewood. I think it's
Yeah,
incredible.
thank you. Um, I think you've kind of answered this one, but it was just to give a shout out to the person in the industry who's had the biggest impact on your career. But you did say quite a few thank yous. But if there is
Oh,
a one person in particular,
oh
but
my God, that's so
maybe that's
hard.
too
I
hard.
can't say one. Yeah,
No,
I can't
that's
say
fair.
one. But I would definitely push the people that I said, which is, Lynette, who I assisted her with Adjoa Ando on Richard II at the RSC. And that was like one of the most transformative processes I've ever been in. And then Ian Rickson, I assisted him, and he's now Uncle Ian at this point.
That's
And
nice.
there's many people, Matthew Zia, who first saw that I had something in me and gave me an opportunity. There's so many people. I could go on. I could go on. I could go on. So many people, lovely
Thank,
people, amazing people.
thank you. And finally, why should we come and see Marie and Rosetta at Soho Place?
You should come and see Marie and Rosetta because you are seeing Black women fully in their power. You're seeing two incredible voices synergize in a way that's actually magical and quite transformative. You are going to have a music lesson, a music history lesson in terms of understanding the influence of Black women in UK music, US music, and global music. And you're going to have a wonderful time on Tottenham Court Road in the West End. And then you can go for food after, maybe go for a drink. Perfect date night, perfect day out. Yeah, come and have a good time and just see what we've been making for the past year.
Yay. And also, if anyone hasn't been to Soho Place, they really should. It's such a stunning, glitzy,
Yeah.
shiny venue.
It's so shiny. It's 3 years
So
old.
shiny.
Nika made it
Yeah.
3 years ago. It's so shiny and it's so wonderful and so
Yeah.
accessible and it's beautiful in there.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And
Thank you so much. So lovely to speak to you.
it was very lovely to speak to you too. Take